Well, welcome back to my reviews. And I know I've done a blog on this Corgi Tiger tank before, but I was going to include the Tiger 2 with it, or the King Tiger. This is number 900A in the Corgi series, and it was in production from 1973 to 1978. And it's a model of the Tiger 1 German tank from World War II. It's got some pretty good detail on this one. These cables here, separate pieces. Wheel detail here. Plastic tracks. Roll very nice. Elevating barrel. Turret turns 360 degrees. Push the barrel of the gun in. Push it down. And it'll fire one of the little plastic shells out of there. Just drop it down the barrel. About it. The Tiger tank was the first mobile mount that the German Army had to carry the 88mm gun. And the King Tiger and the Panthers also carried the 88mm. This tank entered service in 1942 and basically fought alongside the Panthers and the Panzers. There was about 1,300, and I think it said 1,347 produced up until 1945, the end of the war. But it was always considered over-engineered, this thing. It was expensive to maintain. It was very labor-intensive to produce. Prone to track failures and very high fuel consumption. But it was mechanically reliable, and it was liked by the crews. Henschel produced it. Porsche attempted to get the contract, but they had some unconventional ideas, and the Army picked Henschel's design. Now, it was just known as the Tiger originally, and when the Tiger 2 was produced, it obtained the Roman numeral Tiger 1, but not until then. And we'll go on to the Tiger 2 now. This is number 904A in the Corgi military series, and it was produced from 1974 to 1978. It's a beautiful little model. Like all German tanks, this was a gasoline powered, and it had about a 670 horsepower engine, which wasn't any bigger than the Panther or the Tiger had Tiger 1, and it was a lot heavier than both. But it had the same angular features as the Panther, which were better at deflecting shells. And again, Henshaw won out on the contract over Porsche. Porsche's original design was a rear-mounted turret and a mid-mounted engine, and the German army just didn't like that idea. Plus their turret was all rounded instead of these kind of a beveled look. So Henshaw won out again, and they kept their design, the rear-mounted engine and mid-mounted turret. The King Tiger name was basically an incorrect translation of the German name, which was Connie's Tiger, which meant in German the Bengal tiger, and it was incorrectly translated as the King Tiger or Royal Tiger. There wasn't many of the King Tigers produced. I believe 492 units by the end of the war, and their production was disrupted by Allied bombing steadily. So, but it had a lot of pretty neat features. It was a nice looking tank. I like it. You can see a resemblance in this to the later Leopard tanks from the 70s. This one had a pretty interesting feature on the turret. It took 60 seconds to turn 360 degrees in low gear, 19 seconds at high speed, at the high speed setting at 2000 RPM, and 10 seconds at 3000 RPM. And if they lost power, they could they had two wheels, the gunner and the loader. Took something like 720 turns to turn this turret all the way around on manual. Doesn't sound like a fun job. Anyways, it's a nice model, and two of the bigger tanks in the German Army during World War II. And Corgi made some very nice models. So I hope you enjoyed my review of the Tiger 1, I guess, and the Tiger 2 German tanks by Corgi. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.